All A's. Got 93 out of 100 for the first exam and 93 out of 100 for the second. And then I got a 48 out of 50 for the research paper. And then I got all pretty much hundreds on the assignments except this one, which I don't give a fuck about. But I got an A in history too. Easy peasy. I have to check to make sure my input capture's on the right one. Let me see. Yeah, this is on default. Fuck you.
Check.
All right, this one's on the regular one now. We should be good. All right, so we gotta do some shit here. The map test is the first thing I gotta do. It's due in 4 days. I gotta study for that shit. So map of the United States. Because life in the United States has been continues to be shaped and influenced by a large degree of geography of the continent, states must know the basic details of the United States geography. Alright, so I have to know all of these. All 50 states by name. Fuck. Motherfucker. So I have to know all 50 states, the Great Basin, Great Plains, in 4 days. I think I can do that. Mexico, Canada, Atlantic Ocean, Gulf of Mexico. I have to know where these cities are located and these rivers, which should not be too hard. The 50 states, though, I have to really memorize because I don't remember all the 50 fucking states. The rest of this shouldn't be difficult, the rivers and all that. So the bulk of it I should remember for. Yeah. I have to remember all this shit, dude. Some of these maps are not helpful at all. I just need like a regular ass map. I need a regular, normal map that I can memorize. Like, why did he add the oil and gas shit when it's not even the stuff that we have to remember? Silly shit. Let me add some fucking music to this shit real quick. Yo, what's up, Tiny Timbo? Uh-oh, what is this? I'm not a saint. This guy is so weird to me. Let me look at this real quick. Hold on. I'm about to get distracted as fuck.
Over the last 11 years, I've filmed hundreds of interviews with people of all ages and all disabilities. During that time, I've rarely shared my own thoughts. That's intentional. I believe these interviews are more powerful when I create space for people to share their truth without me projecting too much of myself onto them. And frankly, I think the last thing the world needs is another person constantly sharing every single opinion they have.
Alright, I don't care about this. We'll watch that later. So I aced my first history exam, or history class. So we're all good there. Now we gotta. I did it backwards. So I did the second history first, and now I'm doing the first one, history 2, and now I'm doing history 1. Playlists. This music's fucking creepy. There we go. How am I? I'm great, bro. How are you? These maps suck. There we go. I'm okay. How can we make you more than okay? How can we make this stream the best stream you ever watched in your life? I gotta memorize all this. Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah. I wish I still had a printer so that way I could print out a blank one so I could just write it down. But my printer got invaded by ants that started making colonies in there, so I had to throw it out. I'm gonna have to go to the library tomorrow and do this too. What's the maps for? It's for my exam. I got a map exam, bro. I gotta do a map test so that way I don't look like an idiot. I have to memorize all 50 states, Great Basin, Great Plains, the Chesapeake Bay, Florida Keys, Long Island, Cape Cod, all these cities, all these rivers, the mountains. I have to memorize where all these are. So we're going to start with the states. Why is this playlist so creepy? Give me some uplifting shit, bro. Give me some of that uplifting shit. This is not uplifting. Whatever. See, Tiny Tim, when you go to college, you're gonna have to do shit like this too. If you ever go to college. Okay, I know the Midwest. Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky. It's these states down here that are gonna fuck me up the most. And also like the middle America. East is also gonna fuck me up. I think I got the West pretty down, but Central and Eastern, I'm gonna have some trouble. Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. I'm gonna have to wake up early tomorrow. I'm gonna have to get up at like 8 or 9 and go to the library. Titan, you don't want this life, bro. You don't want this. You don't want this life. Freaky music to study to? Should I change it? Is it too freaky for you? Did you know Letitia licks my pictures? It's true. I sent pictures to a group chat and she saved all of them for her goon folder. Can you believe that? Can you believe people live in Idaho? Like, why would you want to live in a state that looks like this? Like, why didn't they just make it perfectly square? Why do they have to make the states like all fucking weird looking? Why didn't they just make them all square? At least as square as they could. Like, look at Wyoming and Colorado. These are like perfect squares. And they started fucking it up over here. Guys, Letitia licks my pictures. All the girls that watch me lick my pictures, and it's really weird. I don't like it. Alright, so we got Washington, Oregon, California. Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho. And then Montana. Hannah, Montana. Alright, I got that in the bag. So it's Washington in the far left corner. And below that is Oregon. And below that is California. And then up at the little fucking weird peak thing is Idaho. And then right next to that is Hannah, Montana. Easy. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. The stage just wanted to be different, I know. Shake my head. And then right next to that is Nevada. So you have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, and Hannah, Montana. Okay, so we got these groupings right here. Okay, so Wyoming is like right between Colorado and Montana. It's getting, you know, it's being sandwiched between Montana and Colorado. It's a Wyoming sandwich. Okay, it's encroaching on Utah. You talking to me is what Utah is saying to Wyoming, because it's got that little beak right there. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Hannah, Montana, Nevada, and then right below Hannah, Montana is Colorado, and then Utah. No, fuck, it's Wyoming. Damn it. This is gonna be difficult. Right below Montana is Wyoming. Okay, Wyoming. Like, why am I oming under Montana? Utah is saying you talking to me to Wyoming, and Wyoming saying why not? Right below Montana, Hannah, Montana. All right, I got this. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Nevada, and then we have Montana, Hannah, Montana. Right below that's Wyoming, and then right next to Wyoming is Utah, and then to the right's Colorado. Hell yeah. Got that shit. Do you like how I study? This is how I have to study with my brain instead of drawing it on paper. Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. And then right next to my Wyoming is Utah, and then Colorado. And then right underneath Utah, it is going to be, I believe, Arizona. Yes, Arizona. And then right between Arizona and Texas is New Mexico. All right, so we have this entire side down pat, I think. Yeah, I think this entire region right here we got. This part, I don't know yet. This part, I don't know yet. This part, I do know, just because I live there. This part, I gotta work on, for sure. These, I definitely need to work on. And then there's Florida. Why? Bro, Tiny Tim, you gotta change your username. You gotta make something more interesting than that. Only the boring states are perfectly square anyways. True. That's true. Okay. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Montana, Idaho, and right below Montana is Wyoming. And then right next to Wyoming is Utah. And then right next to Utah is Colorado. And then right underneath Utah is okay, well I know right next to California is Nevada. But right underneath Utah is Arizona. And then right next to Arizona is Colorado, isn't it? And underneath Colorado is I'm doing this with my eyes closed. Right underneath Colorado is New Mexico. Yes. I was correct. I was correct like I'm always correct. Alright, so obviously next to Hannah, Montana, and Wyoming is North Dakota and South Dakota. And Minnesota and Wisconsin are easy to remember. Nebraska's going to be difficult to remember because it's the most bullshit state. $1.8 million followers for being a dumb bitch. Fuck the internet.
So Islam Makhachev's incredible run as lightweight champion does not end by defeating the octagon. He moves up to welterweight, and the vacant belt now will be decided between that man Charles Oliveira, who has held it before, and Ilia Topuria, trying to become the 10th fighter in UFC history to realize a belt in a second division.
Let's go, Ilya. Ooh. Ooh, kick. Ooh, another kick. Ooh. Oh, they're trying to get a knockout. Damn. Jeez.
Charles is a big lightweight. Yes, he is. Big, tall, very strong. Could be significantly stronger than anyone Ilya has faced before. Early takedown. But Ilya, who's an elite grappler himself, is on top. Big cut by Oliveira already. And not in a great place, or so it appears. Look at this.
Oh, come on. That's easy. Oh, God.
That is huge. Oh, what's the leg here? Oliveira attacking leg lock. Dangerous position. Ilya's got to be very careful with that left leg. He's scrambling. He's almost out. The leg's not in danger anymore, but he's still trapped. Charles out. Back into him. Tremendous composure by Topuria. You can see right away he's dealing with a different level of strength and skill in Oliveira. A lot of fighters reluctant to engage Oliveira on the ground. Mark Goddard steps in, under 3 to go, round 1. Big shots landed by Topuria tight. Oliveira gets the clinch again. Ilya throws hard when he goes. Good uppercut from Oliveira. But there's a difference already in how Charles is absorbing these shots. Well, he's already busted
Damn.
up.
Oh! Damn! Dude, that's crazy. Just one shot is all it takes. Just one good shot is over. Fuck.
Landed by Topuria in tight. Oliveira gets the clinch again. Ilya throws hard when he goes. Good uppercut from Oliveira. But there's a difference already in how Charles is absorbing these shots. Well, he's already busted up.
Right hook, right in the fucking jaw. It's done. I'm sorry, what happened? I'm spacing out. I'm over here watching fucking UFC and shit. I can't show you guys. You are so beautiful. You and I could be together in harmony. But you know I allude to the mystic Saint John of the Cross, Meister Eckhart Ruysbroek. I ask him if he ever rereads them once in a while, if he likes what emanates from their writings. Yes, I like their logicality, their burning illogicality. The flame which consumes all our filthy logic. Consume. Children take a particular pleasure in hiding, not because they will be found in the end, but by the very act of hiding, of being concealed in a laundry basket or a cabinet, of curling up in the corner of an attic to the point of almost disappearing. There is an incomparable joy, a special excitement that children are unwilling to renounce for any reason. This childlike excitement is the source of both Robert Walser's voluptuous pleasure in securing the conditions of his illegibility, the micrograms, and Walter Benjamin's stubborn desire to go unrecognized. This pleasure and his desire are the guardians of the solitary glory revealed children in their sacred lairs. For the poet celebrates his triumph in non-recognition, just like the child discovers the genus loci of his hiding place with trepidation. The genius loci. Wandering star, I'm gonna follow this shit. For whom it is reserved. Mr. Beast! What happened? Alright, so we have Oregon. No. I'm sorry. We have Washington, Oregon, California. And then right next to that, we have Idaho. And then right next to that, we have Montana. And then right underneath Idaho, we have Utah. And then right next to Utah, we have Wyoming. And then right underneath Wyoming, we have Colorado. And underneath Colorado, we have... let me play the music again. My bad. You need to kill that vacant space. Underneath Colorado, I believe is going to be New Mexico. And then right next to New Mexico, we have Arizona. And then right next to Arizona, we got Nevada. And then last but not least... Okay, what did I say so far? I said Wyoming, I said Colorado, I said New Mexico, I said Arizona, and then I said Utah. That should be it, right? That should be it for that side. Yeah, that's it for that side. Okay, so we have that side done. And right next to Montana, we have North Dakota. And of course, we wouldn't have North Dakota without South Dakota. And I have no idea. Yeah, Nebraska is going to be hard to remember. Nebraska is going to be difficult. Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Oakley's Homa. The little pan above Texas. The little pot above Texas with the handle. Oakley's Homa. Alright, that shouldn't be too hard to remember. So I have this entire side memorized, except for Nebraska and Kansas and Oklahoma, which shouldn't be hard to remember. So you Nebraska underneath South Dakota. And then underneath Nebraska is going to be Kansas. And then underneath Kansas, you have Oklahomas. You have your Oakleys on with homas and the homies. It's got a pot handle above Texas. See, I got this shit. Alright. Let's restart. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana. Underneath Montana, you have Wyoming. And then you have Utah. And then right next to Utah, you have Colorado. Underneath Colorado, you have New Mexico. And to the left of New Mexico, you have Arizona. And above Arizona, you have... it's Utah, isn't it? Yeah. And then to the left of that is Nevada. Okay. And then next to Montana, to the right, you got North Dakota. And then you have South Dakota. Then you Nebraska underneath that. And then beneath Nebraska is Kansas. And then underneath Kansas is Oklahomas. And then underneath Oklahomas is Texas. Easy. Easy. Memorized all that. Piece of cake. Alright, next up is this side. This side's not going to be as easy because there's a lot of small ass states over here. I don't know why we gave these little tiny things statehood, but whatever. States should be big and square, not small and weirdly shaped. Alright, so I know this is Minnesota. Where's the blank map? Alright. Okay, so this is Washington. This is Oregon. This is California. This is Nevada. This is Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska. No, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and I don't know anything over here. Michigan, Ohio, yeah, and everything else is a blur to me. I think this is Louisiana. Louisiana should be easy to remember because it's in the shape of an L, which is for Louisiana. Okay. Okay, so below Iowa is Missouri. Motherfucker, so I'm in misery. Iowa, motherfucker, so that's why I'm in misery. Minnesota, Iowa, and I'm misery. I'm in misery. I saw the ark below my misery. Arkansas. I saws the ark in the Bible. That's why I'm no longer miserable, and I'm in Louisiana because it's in the shape of an L. Easy to remember. We got Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, and then Louisiana. All right, so we have. Let's retrace where we're at. Okay, so we have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. We have Oklahomas. We have Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. I already forgot what the fuck this one was. Below Minnesota, I know this one's Missouri. Iowa. Okay, duh. I knew that. I don't know why I blanked on that for a second. Minnesota, Iowa, motherfuckers. So I'm in Missouri. And then Arkansas, and then there's Louisiana. All right, easy. And of course, we got Michigan, Ohio. I don't know what the fuck this state is. I forgot what this was. That's Indiana. No one cares about Indiana. It's like no one cares. It's like a little brother of the Midwest, you know? It doesn't look like a cool glove. It's not as big as Minnesota. It doesn't have Chicago like Illinois. It's just there. So that's Indiana. Indiana for Indians. No one cares about the Indians, so that's why it's called Indiana. That's the state that no one remembers in the Midwest. So you have Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, Ohio, and then Indiana. Okay. I'm going to remember it because it's not memorable. Got it. Okay. Underneath Indiana and Ohio is Kentucky. Okay, I'm a Kentucky. I'm gonna tuck you in, Ken. So underneath Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, underneath these three motherfuckers, they're triple teaming Kentucky right now. They're all tucking in Kentucky. Illinois has got the ass, Ohio's got the head, and Indiana's got the middle. So that's what we got. We got Kentucky right here. And it's touching misery. That's why it's a little bit in misery, because it's getting triple topped right now by these three states. So that's why it's got to kiss misery. Alright. Alright. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And then you have Madison, not Madison, Minnesota. I almost said Madison. Michigan. No, not Michigan. Madison, no. Minnesota. Fuck me. They all start with M. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois. And then you have Iowa, motherfucker. That's why Missouri is right here. And then you have Arkansas, and then you have Louisiana. Okay, got all that done. And then you have Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, and then Kentucky. You're tucking in Kentucky right here. Alright, I got that shit. Easy. Where's the actual picture at? Okay. So we have Kentucky. Here are the only 10 I see. Easy to remember that. 10 IC right underneath Kentucky. Who's getting tucked in, triple teamed by these three states up here: Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Kissing Missouri, kissing Arkansas. Right here is 10 IC. And it wouldn't be the South without Mississippi underneath 10 Mississippi. Okay, so we have 10 in SC and then Mississippi. Alright. Okay, so we have Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and then Kentucky, and then Missouri to the left. And underneath Kentucky, I already forgot what it was. Tennessee? No. Yes, Tennessee. It is Tennessee. Okay. And then underneath Tennessee is Mississippi. And then Mississippi's clone, evil clone that looks like the mirror image of it, is Alabama. Alright, so Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee's. Alright, the only way I'm going to remember this is Tennessee and Mississippi can be like cousins, and they're kissing each other. That's why Alabama's right here. So that way, because Alabama, you know, with Alabama, stuff goes on there with families. So that's why we got Tennessee and Mississippi right here in Alabama. Alabama's the mirror image of Mississippi. I got it. And then we have Georgia for gorgeous. Because Alabama's an icky place. That's why we have Georgia right next to it. So that way it can be prettier in comparison. Georgia. Florida. Everyone knows Florida. Don't have to memorize that. And then North Carolina and South Carolina. So we have like this little crack pipe here. Tennessee is the smoke part, and then North Carolina is like the actual where you put the crack in. Okay, so Tennessee, North Carolina is the like the whole pipe. Tennessee, and then North Carolina, and the South is right south of it. Okay. All right. Take it from the top. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and Arizona, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, motherfucker, Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and then we have Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, and that's all we got so far. So this is South Carolina, this is North Carolina, and I don't know what these are. Okay. Okay, we have a Virgin here. We have Virginia, right above North Carolina. We have Regina above North Carolina. And to the west of Regina is West Virginia, between Ohio and Virginia. Alright. Virginia. That shouldn't be hard to remember. Kentucky is getting triple fucked by these three states right here, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. But Virginia, who's a virgin, is not getting that because she's a virgin. That's why her name is Virginia. And that's why in between that is West Virginia. So we have the crack pipe, Tennessee, North Carolina, and above that's Virginia. And then West Virginia. Virginia and West Virginia. Alright. Alright, these ones are going to be hard to remember because they're small. Maine is the main one that's all the way at the fucking corner that nobody gives a fuck about. That shouldn't be hard to remember. Maine is in the fucking right-hand corner. Main right-hand corner is Maine. And then we got New York above Pennsylvania. Right next to Ohio. Alright. So this is Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, and then we have Virginia, and then we have West Virginia. We have West Virginia, and then we have above that Pennsylvania. Yes. Alright, so right above the West Virginia is Pennsylvania. I'm going to remember that. So right above your vagina is the Pennsylvania. Right next to Ohio. Right next to your hole. Ohio. Okay. Michigan looks like an oven mitt. It looks like it's going to grab your Pennsylvania right above the West Virgin. Alright. I got this shit. The West Virgin right here. You got the Pennsylvania and then New York. Yeah, this is going to be easy to remember. So New York is like Jew York. So it's right above the Pennsylvania because they're gonna circumcise Pennsylvania. So I should be able to remember Alright, so we have Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York, and then Maine. And I think this is New Jersey right here.
Yes.
Alright, we got pretty much almost all of it down. Now all we have left is these tiny ass fuck states. Maryland, Delaware, I already got New Jersey. So Maryland and Delaware connect. I cut Rhode Island, which is small as fuck, and then Massachusetts. Yeah, these right here, Vermont, New Hampshire, and then these ones are going to be hard to remember. Alright. Alright, so we have Virginia, West Virginia, and then Pennsylvania, and then New York right above that. Vermont. How am I going to remember Vermont? That's going to be hard to remember. Vermont. Most boring fucking name for a state you ever fucking heard. Vermont. So how can I connect New York with Vermont? I figured something out, but I'm not going to say it. But okay, Vermont. Easy. Vermont, like vermin. Vermont is connected to New York. And connected to New York is your Pennsylvania, which they're going to circumcise. And right below Pennsylvania is the West Virginia. And right next to West Virginia is Virginia. And then you have New Hampshire. Vermont and New Hampshire. How can I connect Vermont and Maine to New Hampshire? New Humpingshire. New Humping your squire. Okay, vermins hump their squires. Vermins hump their new shires. So that's their inverse. They're 69ing right here because they look like the same thing but upside down. So that's why this little vermin here is humping its New Hampshire. Right next to Maine. Maine. Alright. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, New Jersey, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana. No, not Louisiana. It's what the fuck was this one? So up above was Kentucky. And this is Missouri. Fuck, what was this one? Okay, we have North Carolina. North Carolina is right here. South Carolina. This is Virginia. This is West Virginia. This is Kentucky. This is Tennessee. Yes, Tennessee. You're the only 10 I see. And then right below Tennessee is Mississippi, and then Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Missouri. No, this is Missouri, and this is Arkansas, and then this is Iowa, and then this is Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, New Mexico, Wyoming, and this is Utah, Colorado, and I always forget because there's so many fucking states that start with A, or things that start with A. It's not Arkansas. It's not. It's Arizona. Okay. Okay, so we got these guys: Maine, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maryland's right here. I got New Jersey. These ones I have to remember. So I have 3 states left? Delaware. Underwear. Rhode Island shouldn't be hard to remember. Oh yeah, this is funny. Hey, I just now realized. Connect I cut. So Jew York cuts your connect I cuts your dick. Pencil penis filling. Alright, so Jew York connects the cut to penis your vania. Okay, to circumcise you. Okay, so Connecticut is right next to New York. That's easy to remember. Oh my god. Connecticut. Alright. And then Massachusetts. When you go to the church for Mass. And then Rhode Island is right between those things. And then Delaware. Your underwear. Ooh, I think I figured it out. Okay. I think I've got a perfect way to memorize everything now. So you have Maine right here. You have New Hampshire. And then you have Vermont. And then you have New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Rhode Island. And then you have Connecticut. And then you have Massachusetts. And then you have Maryland. Then you have Delaware. You have West Virginia, Virginia. You have Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin. And then you have Kentucky. And then you have Tennessee. And then you have North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington. There we go, buddy. There we fucking go, buddy. Looks like I got it. Shawty little baddie, she my little boo thing. And Shawty got the fatty.
Stupid hydrated. So I'll just chuck that. Actually, no, I'm gonna drink it really slow. Because it's so bad.
Okay. Da starter vi hjem med E4-bonde. Spiller jeg kommer med Kong-Gamebits. Som blir mottatt. Eller ikke mottatt, det blir mottatt. Det er jo på alle som spiller signaliserer. Skåpebøyen.
All right. Let's do it. Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Delaware. That's it. And that's all. That was 50. Honestly, doing it that way was probably way faster than if I would have wrote all of it down on a blank thing, to be honest. Yeah, I think I got that shit down pat, buddy. Yeah. All right, so the 50 states are good. Now we gotta memorize the Great Basin. Where the fuck's the Great Basin at? Bro, these motherfuckers really expect me to memorize that? What the fuck is this? Okay, so it looks like the Great Basin just is this big ass thing that mostly is in Nevada. The Great Basin is the largest desert in the United States, spanning 190,000 square miles across Nevada. I actually drove through that. Yeah, that was fun. That was scary though. Yeah, dude, I actually drove through the Great Basin when I was driving from Wisconsin to California. There was a lot of just fucking nothing, and it was scary driving through that shit. Because if your car broke down, you were fucked. There was no civilization anywhere. Great Plains. Where's the why did he give all these fucking maps here? Also, what the fuck? The race and Hispanic origin population density? Why the fuck do we need that? Eskimo? Pacific Islanders? Okay, this needs to get updated. For sure. Yeah, this seriously needs to get updated hardcore. The fuck? These are from the 90s. It ain't like that no more. Let me see here. Okay, well, the Gulf of Mexico. By the way, it's not called the Gulf of Mexico anymore, so it's called the Gulf of America now. Did we forget that? Even on maps now it says it. Well, not on the older maps, but on newer maps it. I remember I saw, yeah, see right here on a modern map, it says Gulf of America now. When are we gonna annex Mexico? Is what I want to know. Like, do we want Mexico? Is the question. I feel like we wouldn't really want Mexico because, like, if we did that, I mean, they wouldn't be illegal anymore. So, well, the reason why we don't do that is because none of them speak English, and America is an English-speaking country. So if we did that, it would be like the identity would be it wouldn't have a cohesive identity then. So that's why we don't do that. But Puerto Rico is our territory. That's a good thing. I remember a little while ago, Puerto Ricans wanted to like get independence, which is a horrible idea. You do not want to be independent from America because that's probably the only thing keeping you from looking like fucking Cuba or Haiti, which are fucking shitball countries. So, shitball little islands. You're a nice little tourist island. They gotta keep it that way. Aight? Don't be dumb. And let's see here. Nobody gives a fuck about Canada. Then we have Alaska. Really is crazy how close Russia and Alaska are. Literally just a boat ride away. How fucking ginormous Russia is, though, bruh. Can you stop doing that? I'm not trying to drop a pin. Mongolia. All right. Well, I guess according to this, it's still the Gulf of Mexico, so we're gonna call it that. Oh my god, my fucking scroll wheel doesn't work sometimes. That's so annoying. Chesapeake Bay. Where the fuck is that? Oh, that's right. Right, that little crevice there in between Maryland and Virginia. Maryland and Virginia. On the Florida Keys, we'll bring our chemistry. That was crazy. There's a place called Kokomo. So it's this little tail right here. The little piss stream. There's a place called Kokomo. That's where we wanna go to get away from it all. Key Largo. Oh my god, all this shit. I'm gonna try to memorize all of the rivers tomorrow. Yeah. Off the Florida Keys, we'll perfect our chemistry. Afternoon delights, cocktails and moon. Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I wanna take ya to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama, Key Largo, Montego. Well, all right. Let's do one last little test here, and then let's see. We'll probably hit the hay. All right. So we have Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, starts with an A. It's not Arkansas. It's not Atlanta. It's Arizona. Right. And then you have Utah. Then we have Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma. And then we have Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. We have Minnesota. We have Wisconsin, Illinois. And then we have Wyoming. Then we have Missouri. And then we have Arkansas. Then we have Louisiana. Then we have Mississippi. We have Tennessee. We have Alabama. And then we have Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, West Virginia, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware. This is New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont. And then we have New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and then Connecticut. That's it. That's all of them. And then over here in Nevada, we have the Great Basin. And then over here, we have between Maryland and Maryland and Virginia, you have the, what do you call it? The fucking, what the fuck was it called? What the fuck was it called? I don't remember. The Chesapeake Bay. Okay, that's the Chesapeake Bay right there. And then the Florida Keys is right off here somewhere. Okay. I still have to memorize where Great Plains are and then the rest of this other shit, but overall, this is pretty easy.